You may have already heard about the recently released study linking alcohol consumption to an increased risk of cancer.
And Dr. Ken Stewart, Assistant Professor of Primary Care at KCU Joplin, is here to break it all down. This is all we're hearing about right now, Doctor.
Yes.
What's your take on all this?
Well, you know, it's an informational campaign because less than 50% of people actually know that their alcohol causes an increased risk for developing cancers.
I had no idea.
Yeah, most people don't. And in most countries, they'll actually put a disclaimer on alcohol saying that it can cause, increased risk for disease and for cancer specifically. We have that with tobacco products, but we don't do that with alcohol. We do put on a disclaimer there on about pregnant women not consuming alcohol because there are risks for the babies. But when it's really break down the numbers, over 100,000 cancers a year are due to alcohol-related exposure, and about 20,000 people a year will die of alcohol-related cancer diseases. So we're talking about oral cancer, we're talking about throat cancer, esophageal cancer, liver cancer, colorectal cancer, and breast cancer.
I think a lot of people don't think that because obviously if you're smoking, you're bringing things into your lungs, and it just sounds bad. But with alcohol, it's just a drink now and then. What is the physiology behind that?
Yeah, so basically alcohol is a toxin, and the liver breaks down the alcohol into dehydrogenase or aldehyde, which is basically aldehyde. It's basically a preservative, which is a toxin to the body. And it's specifically cytotoxic, so it destroys cells. So aldehyde is the byproduct of alcohol breakdown.
This is so interesting to learn all this behind this, but we knew alcohol wasn't good for us. I mean, we all know in moderation, but they're really stressing it now more than ever. So pay attention to that. It's not hardly worth that the risk, is it?
Well, it is. And let's talk about moderation. So what is moderation? Well, there's somebody that came up with a recipe that says if men are drinking alcohol drinks or less a day, that they have a low risk. And if women are drinking one alcohol drink or less a day, they have a low risk. But this study has actually revealed that any exposure to alcohol can actually increase your risk of developing cancer by 40%.
Does that mean every day or even just the occasional wine drinker?
Any type of alcohol exposure, it's a toxin. It's like how much cyanide can you take into your body without dying? I mean, it's a toxin, and we have to recognize it's a toxin. It has an effect on brain tissue, neural tissue, so it destroys brain cells. And so, it has risks associated with other things too, diabetes, obesity. All of those things are going to also contribute to formation of other illnesses and cancer.
So it causes other things that cause cancer.
Yeah, and I imagine that they're probably going to release information that says that probably even lower than 2 drinks a day for men and 1 drink a day for women is going to be recommended, that they go with lower numbers. Bottom line is, if you don't drink, don't pick it up. If you do drink, consider modifying your alcohol consumption. If you do things that don't involve drinking alcohol, or do some other things. A lot of bars will offer mocktails or non-alcoholic beverages, so you don't have to feel embarrassed if you're with some friends and they're drinking. You don't want to drink, you can order a mocktail and still be able to enjoy the fellowship and having the good time without having to include alcohol.
And you might be setting a good example for those friends of yours too.
Yeah, exactly. Another really staggering statistic that I was made aware of is that there are more alcohol-related cancer deaths than there are alcohol-related traffic injuries that lead to fatalities.
Wow.
10,000.
Why is this all just coming out now? Or are we just being made aware of it now?
I think that there's been a lot of research. There's been more research that goes into things. More people are getting involved in research, and we're actually starting to kind of look at some of the more complicated issues that are leading to disease process development in our country. And so more people are looking into it and actually giving us the hard facts. A lot of people don't want to hear that alcohol can contribute to cancer and other, illnesses.
But it's time to take a good hard look. Hear it doesn't mean that you can ignore the facts.
Exactly. You can't change the truth.
Yes. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, yeah. My pleasure.